So another Indian story of an Indian in the Middle East. Well, I'll share it with you so that you can learn from it. As usual, I've taken permission from my client to share this. All right, so this client had taken my advice quite a number of years ago, around four or five. It's like when I just come to Thailand, and she was running a professional business with her family, consulting and other activities. I don't want to be specific. And they were really making money. They were really making good money. Okay. And because she wanted to increase the revenue, she was checking online branding and business branding and personal branding, and lo and behold, she bumped into my profile. And you pay me money, obviously I give you service, and she found the advice that I gave her very different from what most people had given her in the past. Okay, so she took the advice. Later on, because she kept taking my advice on various issues, one fine day she told me that she's getting married. She found this guy and she's madly in love with him. Obviously you tend to feel happy. And to my surprise, the guy was plumb, slightly plumb. He is not like one of the, imagine she's from a rich family. The guy is comparatively not so rich, but he was really plumb, smart guy. He also spoke to me, although he didn't need my coaching. But really plumb guy, intelligent, and his line of work was he was a chef. He was a chef, not at a very high level, but decent enough where he could take care of himself and rest of his family. However, after marriage, she wanted the husband to spend more time with her and start a new life. Because see, if you don't know, being a chef in the hi doggies. Yeah, I know. Hey doggy, come. Thank you. So, when a dog barks, you should not run. You should always face the dog. I'm like that. When a dog barks at me, I don't run. You should not run. Unless, of course, it's a trained military dog or it's a dog, professional guard dog. Don't run, but don't approach the dog. This, obviously, through experience. Refer Caesar Milan. Just Google search Caesar Milan. You'll check a lot of interesting tips on dealing with dogs. Okay, that is dog coaching. So what I was saying was, where was I? Yeah. So he didn't need my coaching. He was pretty happy and smart guy. Yeah. So in the Middle East, people who work in the hotel industry, they tend to work odd hours, long hours, and almost 7 days a week. It's that crazy. So even though he was working for a reputed, 5-star brand, it was long hours, and especially when you are not the head chef, you have to work long hours. And even after you work the head chef, you become obsessed to work. And she wanted him to spend time with them. So obviously he didn't want to leave his career, that was the chef business, and he didn't know anything of the consulting business. She did try to involve him. She had taken a session and asked, can he involve? I said, see, listen, he has a skill. He has craft. Don't destroy that. So thankfully she took my advice, but that was the only advice she took. Thankfully she took my advice and told him not to give up being a chef. But instead, she did something that, I was totally against. Like, remember, when you have a coach or when you have a consultant or someone who guides you, it's not necessary that the person follows everything what the coach or consultant shares with them. And remember, the mentor or coach who is guiding you, because we are not emotionally involved, most of our decisions are based on sound judgment. Okay, especially when you're looking at it from a very far perspective. See, this is how they burn garbage. This is how they get rid of stuff. I know, pollution, what to do. Okay, so it seems that they decided to open up a business, and that too a restaurant. I was totally against it. I told them, say, listen, don't get into business. And my logic for this is very simple. Just because you know how to cook delicious food doesn't mean you know how to run a restaurant. That is why if you know how to make coffee, doesn't mean you'll have a successful coffee shop. There are many people, just because they know how to make coffee, they think they can open a coffee shop. Running a business is a different skill. Making food or cooking is totally different. So what happened was, they decided to open, and they didn't open a small restaurant. They opened I wouldn't say it was small, it was slightly big, like 3 shutters, 3 shops. So they occupied 3, spaces. And they decided to make it slightly upscale. Like, for example, if going to, let's say, your cafeteria, where laborers are going there and poor people can afford 3 meals a day. This was like going to Pizza Hut and ordering the best of the best pizza, the best of the best, everything there. So it was not super expensive. It was not like a 7-star hotel, but it was definitely like a 3-star. Okay. And, the stuff that this guy was really good at, they put all of it in the menu. They tried to make the chef special and all that. Okay. International cuisine. All right. So, even though I told her no, she was still, good friends, and she kept a good relationship, and she sent me the photographs, the grand opening. They were showing the wonderful dishes, the photographs. People got called in for free, friends, relatives. And obviously, it was a grand opening, grand success. And then from then on, they started having good business. Okay. This went on, then obviously, COVID. Okay. Now, here's a surprising thing. They managed to steer through COVID. Okay, here's the surprising thing. Even though COVID was there, all businesses suffered. This business definitely suffered. But they managed to live off deliveries and all that. Okay. And now after COVID reopened, they once again started their business. And they were doing okay. But today, if you ask her, like, how is the business? She'll say, no, it has shut down. And then if you ask her why, obviously they'll give you reasons, business was bad. But I'll tell you exactly why it failed. See, a restaurant business, I'm being specific with the restaurant business, and this is the same thing which I told her. Let's say a delicious restaurant, or let's say Pizza Hut. You like Pizza Hut. Okay, you're in a mood for pizza. You take your entire family to eat pizza. You enjoy the pizza, okay, the evening. Now, how many times will you go? In a week, you'll go once. Maybe you'll go in a month, or maybe once in 2 weeks. That is if you're die-hard about the pizza. There are some people who literally eat McDonald's every day. But if you're a family person, you'll go once in 2 weeks, then once a month, and then you'll say, we want to try something new. So the same thing. Initially, when she started off her business, her friends were very excited, her well-wishers were very excited. They all ordered this premium kind of food and all that, prawns and lobster and this and that. But then you're not going to eat there every day, you're not going to eat there every week. And very soon, once you stop, you just forget about it. And then it might be once in 3 months, or maybe even once a year. So for her, the challenge was, initially all her friends were coming. Soon all her friends stopped. They got tired. They moved on with their own life. Okay? Now comes the next one. Okay, so your friends don't come. Then do you have a loyal customer base? Now, if what you're serving, you have other competitors, why would someone come to you again? And it's like you always see convenience. If her restaurant was below a building, people from that building might order. Okay, that is if they love your food really good. But if it is just like, yeah, it's nice once a while, or I have a guest, I'll come down. Otherwise, why would they? And people would rather prefer to go for meetings and all that to a coffee shop or Starbucks, So second one, she didn't have a loyal customer base. The third biggest one, the biggest of all, is the restaurant business is dependent on your costs. Your cost is raw materials, food, and the prices keep fluctuating. Your cost is getting good food, not cheap. Because if you take cheap food, a couple of bad reviews, you'll completely get destroyed, right? And then salaries, big headache. And if you have more staff than required, your staff will be sitting there, nobody comes in, you still have to pay the salaries. And then obviously the staff get bored. And then, if you're understaffed, then your staff will have to work more and then they'll complain. Then you have to maintain very strict standards. On top of that, in the Middle East, or especially in Dubai, they have these inspectors who keep coming and checking. Even if there is a hair, even if there's a cockroach, even if there is an insect, and they see you get fined. They had so many fines that they had to pay. So many restrictions. And another problem was, she wanted the husband to spend more time with her. Well, if you start a business, you can't spend more time together at home. When you start a business, you have to spend more time working there. Invariably, a husband started working more number of hours, because if the boss was not there, staff wouldn't work. They were lazy. I'm not saying all of them were bad, but the standards were not up to the mark. The quality was not up to the mark. And just imagine, okay, you're saying, okay, you guys take over. And then because people have your number, they will call you up and say, what the hell is this? And they'll complain. So invariably, they ended up with a lot of stress. She ended up having a baby in between. And now, she couldn't work in the business. So she had to be at home. She wants to be with the baby. And husband working. He's still good as a chef. But terrible, as a businessman to make a business work. So finally now, today that business is closed. They ended up with a loss, obviously, because, the decoration, the decor, the uniform, the marketing material, the advertising costs, so many other things are there. And now she sent me a message and she said, I want to get back to the family consulting business, need your guidance. Lucky for her, because her parents, her family business is there, she has something to fall back on. But imagine someone had a business and they shut down the successful business to start something totally new. You're gone, right? As for the husband, I guess he tried getting into another partnership, didn't work. He tried involving with the family business, even though they said no, they tried. He realized it's not his cup of tea. So now he is busy searching for a job in the hotel industry, but obviously not as stressful as that. He's trying something slightly lower, not like before he was 3-star, 4-star. Now he's trying a lower one where he is the boss, but he's trying to, get flexible hours where he can spend time with the family. So anyway, I wanted to share this with you because I think my main message to you is, one is, don't get into the restaurant business. Number two is, there is no such thing as, easy money or, an easy life. Especially when you want, there are things that are important to you. And if you're trying to reinvent the wheel, which they try to do, you will fail. End of the day, once after you get married, always keep in mind, once you decide to get married, responsibilities only increase, priorities change, and things become stressful. So now she is a wiser, older lady with a child who's growing up, and they're trying to still find their foothold, and lucky for them, they have money. So yeah, and yes, I'm kind of guiding the husband this time. Now he's finally become my client. So good. I still have my work cut out. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Feel free to share your experiences. And if you have anything to add, put it down. I read it. You guys take care. This is me signing off. Ciao.